Eddie Alvarez did an interview, and he was weighing in on Conor versus Gaethje. Eddie shared the ring with both of them, much like when Dustin Poirier weighs in on Gaethje versus Khabib. You have to listen. I mean, that is some insight that you just can't get. It's very rare. You have to listen to Poirier. You have to take his opinion into account. Eddie Alvarez shared the ring with Justin. That was for the title of most violent man, and he shared it with Conor, which was for the title of lightweight champion of the world. And Eddie came out and said Conor would knock out Gaethje. Well, that is an interesting matchup. I mean, in that matchup at 55, it matters. It's not a matter of who the best in the world is. It's a matter of who's fighting who, because they are so drastically different. I mean, Conor and Khabib could not be more different. You've got the wrestler versus the striker, just by example. Tony Ferguson versus Khabib is a totally different fight, because you have two cardio maniacs who will not back down and who will not fade in minutes 20 through 25, which is a very rare thing. So it's very unique how they get matched up. When you do look at Justin, who loves to stand up, and he's plenty powerful, but he isn't Mr. Fast or Mr. Long Reach. He's get inside, rip your body, kick you in the leg, wear you down, chop you like a tree, little bites at a time till you fall over. It is different than Conor, who's a sharpshooter, who's extremely fast, who's extremely long. Oh, and by the way, is extremely accurate and powerful. It is just a different fight. Justin, who's got the far greater wrestling, but who doesn't always go out there and use his... I mean, it's a very different fight. It's very hard to turn away from what Eddie Alvarez is saying. Conor is very hard to hit. Conor never gets credit for his defenses. Everybody looks at his offense, which is what you would see, but he's hard to hit. Conor's great, a master of range. You start to get too close, he'll kick you right in the stomach and make sure he keeps that range. Conor's not afraid to back up in a fight. He's got good lateral movement. Conor's good with range. Justin, who's going to come in and see his spots, boom, 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 and look to take your head off. I mean, there's something there, particularly early. Generally, the speed, particularly early, would favor the faster guy, in this case, Conor. But as the fight starts to drag on, that speed starts to diminish, and maybe Justin could get his licks. And I'm just saying that's a very interesting fight, but Eddie's not out of line here for weighing in on his experience, on having his own experience and coming and bringing this to us. I think that it's interesting. I wish Eddie would have elaborated. I'd like to have his analysis. If he just thinks, look, this is going to be a stand-up battle and Conor's too fast and hits too hard, okay, great, I can accept that. But I wish that whoever was asking Eddie these questions would have got a little bit further in the weeds, because that's a very unique opinion. And should Justin and Conor ever get matched up together, which is going to be down the road, but it's hard to act as though where the landscape is now that fight wouldn't make sense should the landscape stay the same. I think Eddie is going to be called upon. I think a lot of people are going to want his take on that. A lot of people are going to want his opinion. What did you feel in there with each guy? Conor was very hard for Eddie to hit, and Eddie is a fast guy. Justin was very readily available for Eddie to hit, but he had a damn good chin. I mean, there's something there that only Eddie Alvarez could share with us.